My name is Blake, and today I will be talking about whether Nova Scotia or Ontario has better fishing. I lived in Nova Scotia for the first 10 years of my life, and Ontario for the last 1 year. To keep score, I will use this chart, judging them off of taste, size, quantity, and coolness. First thing I will be judging them on is the taste of the fish. You could say that Nova Scotia has cod and striped bass, so it automatically wins. But it isn't that easy, because Ontario has blue, which tastes good, perch, and which all taste amazing. They both have trout, so I cannot judge off that alone. With all that said, I think the winner of this category is Ontario, with its wide variety of tastes of different fish. The next thing I'll be judging off of is the size. For Ontario, the biggest fish I've caught in Ontario are these carp, this lake trout, and this largemouth bass. So this big fish called a muskie, which can get up to 30 inches and 10 pounds. But the biggest fish caught in Ontario was a 65-pound muskie. The biggest fish I've caught in Nova Scotia is this big striped bass. And this one too. Pathetically, if you had a big enough rod and a big enough reel and a 1,000-pound line, you might be able to land a huge whale from Nova Scotia. But that's illegal. The next best thing you can get is buying a license for a shark, which are legal if you have the license. One other legal thing you can catch in Nova Scotia is a big cod, like my dad here. And it's one of the biggest cod he's caught, and one of the biggest I've ever seen in my whole life. But the biggest recorded fish ever caught in Nova Scotia was a giant 1,496-pound bluefin tuna, giving Nova Scotia the point for biggest fish. The next thing I will judge on is which province has the most species of fish to catch, starting with Nova Scotia, which has both freshwater and saltwater species. Some examples of freshwater fish in Nova Scotia are smallmouth, brook trout, rainbow trout, chain pickerel, brown bullhead, and crit chub, to name a few. Examples of saltwater species include cod, mackerel, haddock, halibut, flounder, herring, striped bass, sculpin, Atlantic wolffish, different species of sharks, whales, sunfish, jellyfish, Atlantic salmon, and tuna. Ontario only has freshwater species, such as pickerel, pike, muskie, rainbow trout, lakers, striped bass, salmon, burbot, perch, crappie, sturgeon, carp, walleye, rock bass, channel catfish, brown bullhead, and gar, to name a few of the most common. Nova Scotia has roughly 75 different species of fish, while Ontario has almost 128 different species of fish, giving the point to Ontario once again. Not least, I will be judging off of the coolest of each province's fish species. Keep in mind that this is just my opinion, and feel free to have your own on what you think is the coolest fish. Starting with Ontario, which has so many cool species of fish, such as burbot. They have an interesting tail called the
caudal fin.
Largemouth are pretty. I love their cool green colors, like this one. Pumpkin seed have beautiful patterns with bright colors. And my personal favorite, carp. They have big scales and a unique mouth. Nova Scotia is also full of cool fish, such as sculpin, with their cool patterns and spikes that are poisonous. And halibut are also cool because of their flat bodies shaped like a pancake. I also find sharks to be quite cool because of how big they can grow and their sharp teeth. Mackerel are another cool fish that live in Nova Scotia, and it's very cool to see them in big schools up to 1 million shining through the water. with their beautiful patterns going straight down their back. Last but not least, rainbow trout. They're one of the prettiest fish species in all of Canada, with their bright colors going down their back and their tasty little fillets. With all that said, I think it's safe to say that Nova Scotia wins for the coolest fish species. But if you noticed, you know that the tally chart is completely tied. That's because both Nova Scotia and Ontario are both awesome places for fishing. Of course, this is just my opinion, but I'd say it's a pretty good opinion because I've lived there, both of them, for quite the time. Of course, this is all just my opinion. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, goodbye. Bye.